All right, you hear me good?
I can, dude.
All right, man. So before we start this video, I want to say happy belated birthday. It was, I believe, on the 30th, right? That's your birthday,
Yes, June
June
30.
30th. Sorry, I haven't sent you nothing yet. I'm trying to get a package together for you, so I'll let
Dude,
you know once I send it.
it's it's fine, dude.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Just as we learned, apparently Zack Snyder had literally dropped a photo, and this picture is Batfleck wearing his trench coat.
So yeah, well, if we're gonna start with that, I mean, what do you think? Do you think this is gonna be a worldwide release for Sex and the Justice League, or is this gonna be a very limited thing in LA? I'm hoping it's something that is more wider. Not all of us have the money like that to go to LA. You have to go to if you go to California, you gotta stay in a hotel. Pay for an airplane ticket and all that, especially if you're not from there. It is a lot of money to do all that. So I mean, a lot of us are hoping just to go to our theater that we have, close to us, and finally get to see this movie in the theater.
You know, aren't we all the same that we want to see this nearest to our, city towns or the nearest IMAX theater or anything that will be showing the Zack Snyder's Justice League in theaters and on IMAX? And yeah, dude, going to California is like not that simple people think it is. Besides, let's be honest, the hotels there are not that cheap at all.
No, they're not. They're not. It's just, it is. A lot of us don't really, it's not. We're not saying that we're broke, but it's just the thing with all this is just usually. I just feel like the only thing I would love to probably have more time, to kind of like save money, take off a vacation from work, kind of plan everything. If I can plan this better with more time, then I'll be able to do it. You get what I'm saying? But something that's
Uh huh.
kind of it's already kind of close for me, it's just out of nowhere. So for a lot of us, it's just too soon. I guess we just need more time with all this for planning and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, not to mention, dude. What if we want to see the movie near to our, near to our theaters we go to, or another place that is a theater that we are not familiar with, or a new place of a theater. Hell,
Yeah, I
what's
mean,
really funny?
at least closer to us, because I mean, pretty much we don't really have a real IMAX. At least close to me, we used to. International Drive Orlando used to really. They still have IMAX there, but they switch the projection and all that stuff. So it's not real IMAX anymore. So for me, I still have to drive maybe 2 hours to go to a real IMAX, which I would do that. I would do that 100% when it comes to a movie like this, because this was filmed for IMAX. So the whole movie would take the whole screen. It's something that I really would love to experience.
I would love to, watch Zack Snyder's Justice League in IMAX too, because, that entire film, and people are saying, oh, it looks like it's like a TV form. For starters, it's an IMAX form because Zack Snyder confirmed that the way he filmed is in IMAX because, he's trying to give us like not a simple, picture to how today's films look like. He's giving like us a fuller picture of an IMAX. And it's really
Right.
funny, dude? It's amazing that that in that event that's going on is going to show the Justice League is gray version. And I really hope that the worldwide release or so that we are hoping is that we get to see the Green Lantern cut and the honor scene.
I mean, the whole Green Lantern thing. I don't see why not. I mean, we're gonna have to talk about this other movie that's filming right now. We're gonna have to. So we might as well get that out of the way. All these pictures coming out for the James Gunn Superman movie. I'm sorry, I don't want to be biased just because I'm not really a fan of his work. It's just all his stuff when it comes to superhero is very cheap looking to me. It's not really quality. He just don't know how to take things seriously when it comes to making movies. And we just seen the Green Lantern that picture that just came out a couple hours ago, and it doesn't even look like a Green Lantern. It has white colors with green. It's very different to what Zack Snyder already shared, which I'm gonna be sharing all this here. So people can see the difference. Why not just release the Green Lantern scene from Zack Snyder, where it's nothing close to what James Gunn is doing? You get what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
You can still split that apart, without any type of battles. They don't have to. They should not have any problems with releasing that scene. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, it's two very different things, two very different movies. So I don't see what the problem really is to finally release that.
You know what's interesting, dude? Apparently, that you bringing that up, I feel like that somehow okay, for example, that Universal is planning to bring back the Dark Universe, and they're planning to bring the Monster High franchise of the G1 version. And I feel like they're going to do the separate universes of itself basing on the classic Universal monsters. Because, okay, I'm pretty sure Universal understands there'll be two types of people who wants it. Like, for example, the people wants the action pack and horror feel vibes, versus the other one wants the Harry Potter and Barbie movie way. Because, imagine we have some separate universes of itself basing on the Universal monsters.
No, I know. I know where you're going. Where you're getting at. Pretty much, we have talked about this so many times. DC literally has a multiverse. A Elseworld story. The Zack Snyder movies could literally be that. You can put them in a whole different universe. Have Zack finish his story and be in a little corner and he can finally finish what he was doing. I don't understand.
Yeah,
with all these set pictures coming out for the Superman movie, it's just a whole different thing. Nobody's gonna get confused. So that's not an excuse for that. They literally still have one more season for Superman and Lois, happening. So what's the problem with the other things? Why can't we just have all this happening at the same time? We can. It's very possible. There's no excuse for any of it.
If you're asking, I have to remind you, it is the logo of a WB logo that keeps on being, I don't know how I'd say, but being the B word because they completely just think that we should do this. Oh, we should copy what Marvel did or Disney did. Because I'm just like this, saying, stop with the copying of Marvel and Disney. Because you're not the same company. And two, if you're trying to copy things, don't, because you're gonna become like a parody to yourself. And my personal favorite,
and I mean,
that Superman movie.
Honestly, I just don't care. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not saying they should not do it at all. They can do whatever they're gonna do, but they can still have all the movies happening at the same time. That's the whole point of a multiverse. That's the whole point of Elseworld stories. You get what I'm saying? They can have all this. Imagine me. I'm sorry, but if I own a studio, I would try to please everybody. Why? Because that's gonna be more money for me.
Not to mention
that's just being smart. By you cutting half of your fandom, you're gonna lose half of that money. If you go after everybody, you're gonna get everything.
I wouldn't say half what you say, dude. It's just that you're gonna bring, you broke that part, and that's gonna crumble more because, I mean, if you have not noticed on how the last DC films from the last year, dude, it hasn't been so great, and it hasn't been so fondly to anyone. Not to mention my personal favorite is that, how the Flash movie itself had literally lied to everybody about the CGI. They said, oh, we're still going to fix the CGI. But then later, they didn't fix the CGI at all. And what's my personal favorite? Is that you not notice how this film is all catering for the the TikTok influencers than, catering people who want to watch a good movie. And like I said, this movie...
Yeah, I mean... I just feel like this new movie. I don't know. Again, I'm not gonna be here trying to make fun of the movie. I honestly feel like the internet's already doing that for me. Literally all these tech pictures, people already making memes. With all this, and I don't really blame them. I'm sorry, but that Superman suit is horrible. The quality, the way it looks. You keep seeing all the suits for Green Lantern,
Hawkgirl,
and all
terrific.
that stuff, and it's very Mr. Terrific, and it looks very CW, literally. It looks something out of a TV show. And if you're gonna tell me that this movie is gonna be $300 million, I'm not gonna believe you, because where is that money at? Where is that money going?
Speaking of $300 million, dude, I'm just saying, it's amazing that some films that don't need $100 million or more is that you literally had something that had better CGI, better stories, better actors. And my personal favorite is that the CGI has better quality. Like, when I look at the Creator movie, that movie cost like $70 million, and Godzilla Minus One cost only $15 million. I'm just like, when the hell did, less than $100 million can look better unless you have literally passion. You literally used your money for putting the time and money at the same time.
Exactly. That's pretty much my point. It's like, great point what you just said. Where all this weird thing with Hollywood and these $200+ million movie is starting to look a little odd to me, because it's like a lot of these movies are looking horrible when it comes to quality and all that. So where's all this money really? It's just very weird. It's not adding up to me. I'm sorry, but that was not really looking good when it comes to quality. There's something weird looking about that movie. It's just, I don't know, it's off. The movie kind of looks very cheap in my opinion. And again, that's the whole thing with the MCU has not been quality for a long while now, in my opinion. Phase 1, I think, was the best phase they had when it came to the MCU. But again, that wasn't even Disney, that was Paramount, before Disney
bought the rights.
Got the rights. Yeah. So I just don't get it. I mean, the whole thing, Indiana Jones, the last movie, that movie was like almost 300 million, and they didn't really look good either. It's just I just feel like we really need to start going back to old school filming when it comes to practical, and try not to use all these green screens and all that stuff, because some movies should not be looking too clean. That's the whole thing with digital and film. That's why I always rather have film. You get what I'm saying? The whole digital thing, and stop making movies looking way too clean. It's just I don't know. It's starting to look way too fake, in my opinion, when it comes to a lot of these movies coming out now.
I don't blame you, dude, because when I think about the old films that happened before we got today's cameras, what's interesting is that You now noticing how Andrew Garfield's, Spider-Man movies look like they are so detailed. They have the CGI looks so amazing, and you have the idea how the cameras feel like that we're in the
Yeah,
POV of
it was
Spider-Man's eyes, and we have literally the feel of the swinging, and we have
exactly.
the feel
It was,
of
but why? Because it was film. It wasn't digital camera. You get what I'm saying?
and not to
it
mention the
makes it
sets.
feel, it makes it feel natural. You get what I'm saying? It's the whole
Yeah,
digital thing. It looks like anybody can kind of do it now. You go whole HD digital thing is like anybody can just do that with a phone. If you're good enough, it's just they're starting to look. I don't know. It's just the movies are looking. I guess the best way for me to put it, every movie now they're starting to look the same.
mm-hmm.
That's kind of something. In a way, it's something that kind of turns me off about Netflix movies because there's a lot of movies there that if you don't really read the title, you think you've seen that before. Because you feel like you're watching the same movie, and it's because the way
Yeah,
it looks, the setting and all that stuff.
that is exactly what I have a big problem when I watch. Okay, for example, when I watch the Monster High Nickelodeon movie versus, I later feel like, wait a minute, I feel like I've seen this kind of before. Like I seen like, oh wait, this is like how the same cinematography people makes these, these streaming made for streaming movies and shows. Like it reminds me like those today's Power Rangers shows, or those live adaptation versions
Yeah,
of cartoons. It's like, and also, what's really funny is that I noticed that exactly same feeling when I was watching the movie called The Blue Beetle and the Space Jam. Because let's be honest, the cinematography is like the biggest thing I despise about today's movies are doing. It's like you're not making cinema; you're just making like a TV film feel.
I mean, the way for me to put it is you're spending millions of dollars to make a movie, and I can tell that this person is in a green screen, room. That's not good. You get what I'm saying? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
where's all this money going? You spend the millions and millions, especially when you go after hundreds of millions of dollars, and I can still tell like this is fake. That's a fake background. That's uh, where is the quality at? The quality is just literally out the window when it comes to all this nowadays.
You know, and what's interesting, dude? As you say about quality, sometimes I define WB's animation studio isn't there at all because what's really funny? Okay, what's interests me the most is that how is it possible that the Teen Titans Go didn't are the ones who doing the parties of the 100 Years of Wonder Bros. When it should be the Animaniacs, because they know how to do meta. They know what goes on Hollywood. And three, they've been created by the goat himself named Steven Spielberg because one, they know about more about meta than the Teen Titans Go when it's just about being a satire versus the Animaniacs are the master of satireness.
I mean, it's just again, I just don't understand. Animation, just like you said, when it comes to that, I just talking about DC, like we have to go back with that. The animation with DC, that's long gone when it comes to quality. You can't really I think the title Batman Superman Apocalypse. That's the one. That's one of my favorite animated movies. You have Under the Red Hood. You had all these movies that came before with really really good quality. You actually feel like you're watching a movie. If anything, now as you watch some of these animated movies from WB, especially, they even feel AI made. You get what I'm saying? On top of that, what I don't really understand is what the hell is Warner Brothers doing with the DC brand? It's not just about quality, but the way they're turning all these characters into a joke. You
Yeah.
seen what they did with Amanda Waller, in the Suicide Squad, the animated movie or show that's coming out. They have her dancing. It's like that's not Amanda Waller. Amanda Waller
I
is
mean,
a character that you're supposed to fear. That you're supposed to be scared of. She don't mess around. Like,
if you're gonna make her an anime character, you should make her like those evil anime, vibes. Like the idea that she's like looking back of you, like trying to say, "I see everything," or the idea that she literally is the puppet master. She should have the vibe of it, not this. Oh, breakdance. Not. I mean, I know this is anime, but dude, I'm not a fan of anime.
Like, I know people are saying like it's animation. I don't know what people are talking like. It can be cartoon, whatever you want to call it, but that's not the character. You can't just switch the character like that because that's not her.
And what's really funny, dude, is that in 2006 or 2007, we had a Batman anime that was, felt like it's an anime series that you'd be like, whoa. And when you had like, okay, The Matrix did an analogy back in the late mid 2000s, they had those. And they all felt like quality of being the anime influence, the anime of storytelling, and the idea of exploring the world of Matrix.
Yeah, I just again, I'm sorry, I don't really have any hope for this new DC whatever you want to call it, when it comes to the live action universe. It still doesn't make any sense to me that it's not even a full reboot. This is still kind of connected to the DCU. If you're really gonna still have Peacemaker running around,
Amanda Waller,
Blue Beetle, and all that. This is not a full reboot. A real reboot is when you recast everybody and you start from scratch. You still care. You're still having things from it. So that's the first red flag to me. The second red flag is, I'm sorry, but this is not for James Gunn, especially for him to start a universe. He should not be the first one. And making a Superman movie, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but so far, he's proving us right when it comes to quality. We just see those set pictures for this movie, and it looks horrible.
Not
really
to mention
horrible.
Yeah, not to mention that actor looks like a Henry Cavill clone. It's like, okay, you fired Henry, but then later you hired someone that in 2019 that WB has been planning to replace him back then, and you just hired a clone. And that clone is not looking like Henry Cavill. He's starting to look like some kind of Gen Z influencer with that hairdo.
And it's so far this movie looks like it's a movie that's made by
Twitter.
It's a movie that so far he's doing everything where all these real DC fans, whatever you want to call them, that's what they want Superman to be. Like, we know what Superman is. I understand that Superman should be hopeful and all this stuff. We get that. And Zack Snyder was getting there with the character, but he was doing a whole origin for the character. It's not just a MCU movie where the character becomes perfect in just one movie, because it should not be like that. It should take, you should have a whole timeline when it comes to where the character should grow. It should not be an overnight thing like, I'm Iron Man, that's it. No, that's not how it works.
The biggest problem when I have the most with WB now these days is that, like I said, they always want to copy Disney, but I'm like this. Dude, everyone has their own ways. I mean, for example, you have Tim Burton. When he was making the Batman movies, he's like showing that, that Bruce Wayne always was trying to find a way, trying to stop, the Joker, because it's his hero's journey that he's trying to stop the Joker because nobody in the entire Gotham City should suffer as he did when he killed, loved ones or everyone. And in part 2, you literally have the idea where Bruce Wayne's, is testing his moral testing about getting, being gaslighted by Penguin. And my personal favorite is that if, half and half the entire Gotham City sees you a villain or sees you as a hero, it's like that's the difference. And when you have Man of Steel and BVS, is that you have the idea where Superman is viewed as a person who is a terrorist, or then you have him being viewed as an alien invader, then and the entire world sees him as a hero because, and if people say Henry Superman did do nice, but I'm like, okay, for starters, he helped astronauts not to get blown up. 2, he saved a bunch of people who were on the Arctic areas not to freeze to death and took the boat away.
Yeah.
And
it's literally how the movie starts, it's literally Clark saving people from the oil rig and all that. It's literally like the first scene you see of Clark Kent in Man of Steel. And then he starts going to flashbacks of him being a kid and still saving people, even though Jonathan, and his parents, parents from Earth, told him not to do that because you can get caught. Even though they're still telling him to not stop saving people because he can get you in trouble, but that's just the way he is. He's a good person. It's just I don't get it. I just don't get how people see over that to Man of Steel and all. It's just like they see it with so much hate that they get blind by it.
I don't think that. I think that hatred comes from all these, these people who want their 1978, BS. And I'm like this. You had your 1978 BS on 2006, and that film flopped and didn't even manage to make a billion box office.
Superman Returns. It's a movie that I don't really hate, to be honest. I'll watch the movie once in a while. But again, it's a movie that never did age well because it was a very outdated movie. It's a movie that it was meant to be a sequel to Superman 1 or 2, one of them. But it didn't work. Why? Because it's outdated. It's not gonna work. I really don't think it's gonna work. I'm sorry, but if that's what James Gunn is doing again, it's not gonna happen.
Not to mention, you forgot that the same scenario as what happened to WB in 2006 is that, we're trying to do the same thing what we did like in 2006, 1978. But I'm like, WB, you keep doing the same thing as Richard Donner, Tim Burton, Zack Snyder, and I think Nolan also seemed to drew to them because, he now sees that this is exactly what they're doing. Because it's like, for example, you're making a sequel, you're trying to make a franchise out of your movies, but then later you just want to go on your way, but the directors don't want to go there. They want to go the way they want to make.
Right. I mean, it's just like Warner Brothers just continues to go backwards, and it's like I'm saying, I'm not trying to be greedy because I'm not that person. They can build whatever they still want to build, but they can do all these at the same time. Zach can still be doing his thing. James can still do his thing. If Matt Reeves doing Batman 2, which we don't know, that's something that we don't really know if it's still happening. They should still let him do his thing. Also, all these different movies can still happen, and that way everybody will be happy. It's just I just don't get why mess with your fans when we are the money. We are the money. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Without us, there's no money.
Yeah, what's really funny, dude, is that, like you say, that we're the one who has the money, and And if bloggers and if Rotten Tomato matters, I consider that you don't have any business no more because you completely are just catering to these annoying people from TikTok and Twitter about, oh, they should have done this or they should have did this. And if you ask me, I'm noticing that Twitter and TikTok likes are starting to having this bot farming because if you have not seen these pictures or videos about some people have all these, I don't know, like 100 phones on the wall and apparently they're connected to a computer. And I'm like, this is all screams of bot farming and it's so surprising that WB is doing that.
It's a weird thing, to be honest. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's very weird. I just, again, I mean, I just don't see the studio learning. That's just my main thing with Warner Brothers.
You know what's really funny too?
You know, the whole DCEU fell right after Zack wasn't around. It wasn't around anymore. What happened to the quality? It just dropped. What happened with the box office? It dropped.
Flopped.
You know,
the hype is gone. I mean, they're not, and WB is not going to go attending to San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm like, wow, everyone, I wouldn't be surprised, dude, that, okay, in 2000, at this year, that not only Marvel's going to announce their shit, but the other guys are going to announce their stuff. Like, Mattel's going to be telling us they're going to be planning to have movies that are coming out next year or animated, adaptations for next year or so, because let's be honest, Mattel is trying to plan to make more film adaptations, not just using one studio, but multiple studios, because, like, kind of like how Hasbro is doing with Transformers movies.
What is, and again, what is the hype? What kind of hype this movie is gonna have? They're not gonna be at Comic-Con next year because this movie's gonna be out. Before Comic-Con. What's next? What do you have? New York Comic-Con, maybe? Do they even go big like that? I don't think New York Comic-Con goes big like that when it comes to movies. I don't know where they're supposed to kind of promote this new universe. So far I don't see it. You have pictures coming out, set pictures of this movie, and there's nothing trending about this movie.
Except Zack. Oh yeah,
exactly. I mean, it's hilarious you say that because Zack literally just teased on Vero, not even on Twitter, on Vero, that teasing maybe that there might be a theater release for Justice League. And what happened? It's trending. Everybody make articles about that. You even have Fandango.
Wants to join?
Fandango was literally, tweeting about, finally my guest kind of just clicking here. That's huge. That's huge right there. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me because I'm not really following this Superman crap. Obviously it's all over Twitter because of the set pictures that are coming out. But I don't see it trending.
It's really fun. It's really funny, dude. The three trends as was on my radar was, okay, you got Zack Snyder, and then you have Henry Cavill on the Highlander reboot. That trended. Oh yeah, my third part is that you have literally the trend about fires David Zaslav, and I'm like this. Oh my god. It's funny how literally you have the multiple trends that WB is getting their getting, tarnished, because let's be honest, that CEO of Warner Bros. Is not looking good on his own name, and not to mention people are like pissed on him, not because the DC, but the animationness is being poorly made. And if you have not noticed, dude, it's that okay, the Minions had made fun of Warner Brothers for taxes, and my personal favorite is that they're gonna be saying shit, but they're not gonna stay on the line at all. They're just gonna be alternate things up. I mean, that's what you have for Warner Bros. Is being like a parody to every studio to make fun of.
Right. But I mean, I don't know. Now we have to wait pretty much to see what's gonna happen once the trailer for the new movie comes out.
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon, yeah, Rebel Moon's another one. There's a cut. I don't know. I have a feeling. I tweeted a couple days ago. I don't know. Us knowing Zach, I will have a feeling that he will probably release the trailer tomorrow, 4th of July. That will make sense to me. We will see. So yeah, with that, we should probably end the video here. Running out of time when it comes to this whole Zoom thing, anyway. So yeah, just let everybody know, man, where everybody can find you.
As everybody can find me on Vero and Twitter, or should I say X? You can literally find me there at those two. And also, as we all hope that Zack Snyder's Justice League the film comes in theaters. I'm just saying, I hope we get the popcorn buckets with them.
Right. Yeah, I'm still looking forward for Alien. The new Alien movie is supposed to have a bucket, so I'm curious about that. So yeah, everybody, you guys can find me at Movies Meetings Related on YouTube. Also on House of L 38 on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry, I don't call it X. That just sounds weird. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching and have a great one.